broadcaster and a techpreneur.
My name is Khadija Okunulamidi, and I am running for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
My name is Olani Kirilami. I'm an advertising manager here at Megalectrics.
Hello, good people. My name is Melody Ifeanyi Adgo, MIA, but absolutely never missing in action. I'm an honor personality with the heartbeat of Ibadan, The Beat 97.9 FM.
Okay, my name is Nicole Amy Abebe. You can just call me Nicole. I am an on-air personality here at Beat FM, as well as a producer and a voiceover artist.
So my name is Chiamaka Okoli. I am a sports journalist with Lagos Talks and Nigeria FM, and I'm also a chef.
I am Chidi Ogeji. I'm a HR professional and work as head of HR for Megalectrics.
My name is Sharon Chook, otherwise known as Sharon from Marketing. I am digital marketing executive at Megalectrics Limited, operators of Beat, Classic, Nigeria, and Lagos Talks.
Hi, my name is Excellent Duro. I am a media intern with Megalectrics Limited, Ibadan.
My name is Damilola Fajimi. I'm a broadcaster.
My name is Triumphant Samuel, the Senior Sales and Marketing Executive for Megalectrics Port-Harcourt, operators of Beat Niger Classic FM Port-Harcourt.
This year's theme is Break the Bias, and we know that as women we have been living in a society, be it here in Nigeria or worldwide, where there are biases, particularly implicit biases that affect how we live our lives, how we're able to move from level to level in our communication and our relationship with the male folk. So I'm super excited because these biases need to be highlighted. Like I mentioned, implicit biases, a lot of times people don't even know that they're acting according to those biases. So I'm glad that conversations are being encouraged for people to be aware, moving forward, that indeed these biases do exist and it's been affecting women worldwide.
Breaking the bias to me means being disruptive. It's time for women to use their voices. Their voices are really, really, really needed in the space, socially, politically, even economically. It's time for us to stand up, be counted.
The bias means going beyond those to achieve what I'm set out to achieve, irrespective of what people think, what their perception is about me. That's, for me, it's what breaking bias is.
Biasing is ingrained in us as a society. For me, breaking the bias means smashing this chain of gender stereotypes that women and girls fit only one thing, and boldly rejecting discrimination by speaking up against situations that promote gender bias, all in the name of culture. Let's create equal opportunities for men and women.
Breaking the bias means to me being able to stand in my truth, being able to know the power that I have as a woman. What I bring to the table is very important. How I represent women all over the world matters to me. So showing up every day, doing the work, is me breaking it and showing up every day, regardless of whatever is happening in the society. Me being here in my truth, in my power, is something.
Breaking the bias to me means that we have come to realize that we are humans. Before being male, before being female, we are humans. And in a society that has always said, put the male above the female, we are breaking that bias to treat ourselves as equal.
Breaking the bias means challenging every stereotype out there that puts women at the workplace in a box. Challenging every bit of bias that is out there.
Breaking the bias, to me, that means being able to live in a world where men and women are equals. Being able to live in a world where you feel like you can get a job based on your merits, not because you happen to, look a certain type of way. Brains before beauty, but we're beautiful nonetheless. So breaking the bias to me, I think it's encouraging for the next generation to know that they can be whatever they want to be if they just put their mind to it and just live in a world where we all get along.
Great.
For me, breaking the bias means embracing a gender inclusive world, a world free of stereotypes and discrimination, a world that is diverse and equitable, a world where difference is valued. On this year's edition of the International Women's Day, I implore every one of us to take action to challenge and stop gender bias, discrimination, and stereotypes wherever we find ourselves across different sectors and walks of life.
To me, that would be a world that is free of bias, stereotype, and discrimination. A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where there is a difference, or where the difference in value is celebrated and not stereotype as the word will always be.
Breaking the barriers means a world that is a world where difference is valued and celebrated.
So the journey so far in my field has been one of a lot of adventure, hurdles, successes. It's been a very exciting moment and journey for me. And in line with this year's theme, Break the Bias, as women in the media, there's so many biases that we experience. One example could be the bias of men being more politically inclined than women. And so if you sometimes ask the listeners who maybe they would rather dissect a political topic, their answers would gear towards the male folk, because it's assumed that men know more about politics, they'll be able to dissect it more. But coming into the media industry, I've met, I've communicated, related with so many intelligent women that should be policymakers in Nigeria. So far it's been good. It's been nice to see and experience these things, to also know that people also experience it, and this somewhat encourages the conversation, so that moving forward we know that we're getting solutions to these biases that we experience as women in the media.
In media, you have a lot of collaborations going on. You can't work in isolation. There's so many stakeholders here. Generally in the media, this is a radio house, so there's a lot of collaborations going on. So the journey has been interesting. We've grown in leaps and bounds since we started. 13 years. This year, that's a feat. So it is.
I won't lie, it's been challenging, but I'm here. I'm still breaking walls and breaking limitations.
Well, in my chosen field, what the journey has been for me in my chosen field is that I will just tell you that I don't see biases. What I see is challenges that will be surmounted. So whether it's perception people have about me or what I do, it simply motivates me to go a step further, to show that I can really do it. I don't have to prove myself, but once I sense that there is a restriction or a limitation here, I go and move it. And usually for me, it's like a springboard. So I would first tell you that I don't see biases. So for me, the journey so far has been that of interest. It has been motivating. It has been that I've gotten used to achieving what I achieve as a result of hard work, knowing that, of course, people will always expect the other way around, but I go out of my way to make sure that I can defend whatever I get. So,
the journey so far has been very exciting, to say the least. So I started off my digital marketing journey here at Megalectrics, first as an intern in Leeds, and then also with doing my youth course service, and finally a job here at Leeds. So it's been very exciting, it's been very challenging. I studied theatre arts in the university, so coming to do marketing was very, very strange, but it was something I picked up and loved, and it's been a fulfilling journey so far. I can't wait to see what the next years have in store for me.
With the good always comes the bad, but that's life. I think so far my career is going in the direction I'm very happy with. It's growing at a pace that I'm comfortable with. You know, I could always do with a little bit more money in my account, but hey, God is listening to my prayers. So I always wanted to break into the entertainment industry, and now that I'm in the Nigerian one, I'm happy to be here, and I just want to make as much money as I can before I retire. Just being honest.
It's been awesome. I've been on this job for 7 years now as a sports journalist. You know, I don't want to tell you what it means to be a female in the sports industry, but it's been tough, it's been fulfilling, it's been very interesting, and I am glad that I'm here today, somehow breaking all the barriers. Even you could say bias also, but I'm here thriving, and you know, so many other women are in this field also, and they are thriving. So it's been a very good one, very interesting journey, and I'm glad I'm here.
Honestly, I am a newbie in the field, but so far so good. It has been thrilling, it has been exciting.
Well, as an honor personality, it has been quite amazing. From when I started to this period, it has been less stressful. It has been amazing. I have to say, big up to everybody who gave me a chance and an opportunity to prove myself.
I'm going to be very personal about this. As a marketer, there is this stereotype that you are a prostitute. I mean, there are no better ways to get the job done, if not going around meeting men in authority who are definitely going to sleep with you to get you the job. This most times could be demoralizing. It has a way of influencing, have a negative influence on the way you carry yourself as an individual. Sometimes you're out there trying to hit your targets, and someone is saying, which Oga are you going to meet? Which Oga is doing it for you? It's really sickening that in this age and time, women go through this.
As we celebrate the International Women's Day, I come to think back to remember the journey so far, and I know that it's not been easy, but God has been there seeing us through. Most time we are faced with challenges that ordinarily we shouldn't be faced with, that we can avoid, but you will be surprised seeing that you are being confronted with such challenges. You have to say, wow. To go on, to move on, you have to look down on it and think ahead. And it's been like that. Sometimes, to lead women are not easy. To lead women is not easy. And I just come to see it now because before people will say, to be a leader is not easy. I come to see the time when they said, a leader is a servant. And that is how I just put myself to work it up. Sometimes when I'm broken, when I'm tempted to react, I just said, remember, you are a leader and a servant. And I will condescend to that level of being a servant. Even to beg when I know I'm not supposed to. I have to beg for peace to reign and for us all to move on. So it's not really been easy because one, you know what it is when you are begging for something ordinarily you shouldn't beg, the person should be begging. But for you to move on, for you to carry everyone along, to be a leader, you must be very submissive. And I have learned to be that. So the challenge it's not been easy, but we go on our side, we are learning every day and we are achieving and growing stronger together too.
Have I been able to break the bias? That's a very tough one because this is an ongoing journey. It's not a day's thing because these biases we have developed over time. These biases are not just biases that are meted out to us by the male folk. Even women have these biases as well because we somewhat were groomed and developed to believe certain things about women that has limited us over the years. So I wouldn't say I've been able to break the bias. I know that in different instances, I've been able to push past the bias. And to a large extent, I've been able to also teach other people, ensuring that I'm using those instances as teachable moments. It's just like paying it forward to ensure that as I'm faced with certain biases, I address it head on, teach other people who might be involved to understand what these biases are so that they can go out there to teach other people so that this will not be repeated. Like they say, little drops make a mighty ocean. And if I could start and I could spread the word, I believe that it would make a change, a large change.
Do I think I've been able to break the bias? Yes. Because like I say, I don't see biases. I see myself working hard to achieve what I'm set out to achieve, achieving what I want to achieve in any field. Whatever I see, like I said, I see as challenges. So if I've been able to break them, yes, I'm what I want to be, and I've not been hindered by anything. I speak freely wherever I want to speak. I work freely wherever I want to work. So I don't see biases.
Right now at my stage, I do not think so. I think that there is still a lot to be done in terms of, the perception of the woman in the workplace. People believe that if you're at a certain level, you have to do certain things to get your position. And I feel those biases that bias still stands today. So I don't think I've been able to break that bias. And that bias is one that is very important to me, and I would love to see broken. I believe that women can achieve much with a lot of hard work, dedication, and commitment to their job.
Yeah, do I think so? Yes, absolutely. I think that just showing up, in your presence, doing the work, collaborating. You never know who you're inspiring. You never know, despite, women are wonderful beings. I'm in this space, I'm thinking about, what am I giving my kids for dinner? We're thinking about so many things at the same time. And so we've been able to use that positively. Women, we know that you cannot stereotype a woman. You cannot say, because this one is a career woman, that's all she should be. Or this person is a stay-at. We're all wonderful. Like a stay-at-home mom is also doing something. I show up here, I'm also doing something. We're powerful beings, So just being able to do the work, being in my presence, staying in my truths, knowing the power that I possess. So we're doing it.
Yes and no, because depending on who you talk to, some people would tell you that yes, Nicole she's good at her job, she knows what she's doing. Other people may tell you that I've had a hand up because I have family members in the same industry. That's their opinion. I know what I did to get here. I know I studied hard, I went to school. So if you're asking me personally, yes, I think I am breaking my bias because I think I can hang with boys any day, anytime.
Yes, I think so, because a couple of years ago when you hear sports, football, women being sports journalists or sports presenters or pundits, it's actually people look at you like, okay, what are you talking about? Do you know what you're talking about? Because they expect you to talk about maybe entertainment, gossip, and then when you say, no, I talk sports, I talk football, there's this look, and then they expect to hear you, to see you work before they can actually confirm that, okay, she knows what she's talking about. So at the end of the day, I just let the work I do speak for itself. So it's not been something that's been put there on a plate. It's something that I've actually worked my way to work the way up, and so far it's been very interesting. And I love it when I tell people what I do, and then they have this shock look on their faces. But then at the end of the day, when most of them that are opportune to watch me or see me work, at the end of the day, they have this nod and smile, like kind of approval. Not that I need their approval anyway, but it's just part of breaking the bias we're talking about.
To which extent, yes, I have. I mean, with determination and doggedness, I've been able to break the bias.
I remember vividly when I was conferred with the traditional title as the Adoche of BBC. The first time the idea was muted, the first thing people said, "I know it's not done. We don't make women chiefs. It's not our culture." But somebody said, "Yes, she's done what other men have not done. She's done something that has never been done in the past. So we too must do something that we have not done in the past." After all, there's always a first time for everything. So I have found myself being the first in several instances, and I thank God for the opportunity, but there is so much more that we need to do.
For me as an individual, I'll say yes, and I've been opportune to work with people that are doing the same. I would say that I have been able to adapt to the system that we currently live in. I know how to relate with people that have this bias or this stereotype against women. I let them understand that there is more to being an achiever without giving out your body and your personality.
It's always important to be original. It's always important to work hard.
Any advice for women in my industry? So what I'm going to say is this: put a lot of value in the work that you do. Let the work that you do speak for you, but you need to strike a balance between ensuring that your work speaks for you and creating a perception that would attract people to listen or to look or to admire your work.
There are a lot of private sacrifices that will never make it to the gram, that will never make it to the show, and that's okay. But just keep putting your best foot forward, keep putting your best work out. It will pay off eventually, and you'll be so damn proud of yourself. So embrace rejections is part of your journey to success, and it will help you to see no from a different perspective. Never see your cup as half empty, but bet on yourself. Be great, do exploits, and go for it, girl. You can do it.
Advice for women in my field here is both HR and media. So when I look at it, I will tell what I do, what I would advise is, the media is a very interesting place. Even when it comes to reporting stories, you find out that people are selective. Women don't have as much access to information or access to areas they want to go. But as far as I'm concerned, what I would say is that the only limitation you have is that person in the mirror. So that's you. You can do whatever you want to do. You can tell your own story. So I would tell women in the media to just break the bias. Step out of your comfort zone. Tell your own story. Write your own story. And be where you want to be. Nobody can stop you except you.
My advice for women in media: simple. Keep doing what you're doing. Yes, it'll be difficult. It'll be tough. You have a lot of challenges. You have a lot of naysayers, especially that person in the mirror. Once you can overcome that person in the mirror, there is absolutely nothing you cannot do. You can achieve so much more if you put the effort to it. Obviously, it's going to be hard. Nothing worth having is achieved easily. So keep working, keep educating yourself basically, and eventually in the next 5 years, if you keep up the good work, you will definitely get where you need to be.
Go in there, have the loudest voice in the room. You'll be heard, you're seen, you're loved, and I know that somehow we've been here for a while, and so you're seeing us. Know that you can own this space.
If I was to give any women in media advice, I would say be very confident in yourself. Know your craft, study your craft. If you're going to be anything, be the best in what you're doing, and then nobody can ever say, oh, you got what you're doing because you opened your legs or you did something shady. Just always be on top of your game. Never give anybody an excuse to say you did anything wrong, and just try and be the best person in media you can be. Try and do everything legit.
Thank you.
Whatever it is you've chosen to do, it doesn't matter what field it is. It doesn't matter maybe people saying, oh, is dominated by so and so gender. For me, so long as it's what you want to do, you're willing to walk the walk and put in effort to become better at it, just go for it. Like it's a process. Every day you become better. And you find that all the naysayers, all of those that doubted you, once you're good at it, they're actually going to come back and be your biggest supporters, your cheerleader, and your fans. So just keep at it. All you just need is to be sure is what you want to do, and just put your all in it and succeed. That's all I want to say.
I would say be yourself. You can't be any other person. You have to be yourself, no matter what the situation is where you find yourself. You have to choose to be yourself. Don't let the fact that you're a lady and you could get pregnant and you see your flu once every month to hold you down. You also have to be the best at what you do while you're being yourself.
My advice for women is, remember what just happened on Tuesday. I want to take my advice from that angle. As we celebrate the International Women's Day on March 2022, let's also remember that women must support their fellow women. Women must brace up to keep the men aside and move into support them with your vote, support them with your finance, support them in kind to ensure that more women come into a position of power. Because if more women were there in the position of power, what happened at the National Assembly wouldn't have happened. That's just my advice. We must be in unity. We must love ourselves. We must see that we have the numerical number to vote women into position of power. That is it. Thank you.
So, our dear women, let's not accept no of an answer. Let's always ask, why not? Like it has not been done before. It's not good enough. Why it should never be done? There's a first time for everything.
This is my advice to women in media. No matter what position you find yourself in, be it in presenting, be it in production, be it in the news, whatever, be it in sports, whatever or wherever you find yourself in, be the best at what you're doing, and understand that the fact that you're doing things differently is a point of standout for you. That's what I strongly believe, and this is the message for women out there in media. Do you, and do you perfectly well till the world notices you.